A new feature focus for Jurassic World Evolution 3 shows us just how in-depth the social needs of our baby dinosaurs and their families are, with loads of new footage, and we have a surprise brand new dinosaur reveal. In this video, we'll go through the feature focus in segments to dive into all the exciting new details.
Welcome back, park managers. In this module, we'll be exploring the unique dynamics that form within various dinosaur families, making sure you know what to look out for when introducing juveniles into an enclosure, and setting the foundation for them to thrive and expand.
I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is we have a brand new sauropod, the Patago Titan. The bad news is that this is the mystery sauropod I saw during the creator event. I thought it would be Argentinosaurus. I was huffing on my own copium, and I was actually unconvinced Patago Titan is the mystery sauropod instead, because the head shape seemed different and I did not see any of the spines. But this skin in the background is the exact pattern that I saw. So it is a confirmed case of mistaken identity. I will sit in the corner of shame. The fact that Patago Titan is also from Argentina and they chose it over Argentinosaurus will always hurt a little bit. But I do really like the Patago Titan. We get several good looks at it in this new feature focus, including the baby doing an adorable little animation to get the attention of its parent. With the Patago Titan resembling Frontier's Alamosaurus design with the spines, I do wonder if Alamosaurus is one of the over 40 species that won't make it from Jurassic World Evolution 2 into Jurassic World Evolution 3, at least on launch. I think there is a good chance Patago Titan will replace the Alamosaurus as the new spiky sauropod in the roster. Speaking of the roster, this is the updated list of species coming to the base game at launch. Thanks to a Redditor spotting a Pachycephalosaurus statue in one of the trailers, we can also add that dinosaur to the list. Since Frontier seems to be alternating feature focuses and dinosaur showcases, let me know which species you hope to see in the next Dino showcase. If you can peel your eyes away from the cute baby, there is a beautiful Japanese-style viewing tower in the background. Of course, with modular building, we can build anything, but I assume that structures shown off in the marketing footage will be mostly the pre-builds available to us. In the Utahraptor Dinosaur Showcase from earlier this week, we saw lily pads and that got people really excited, and we see them again in this clip of the Quetzalcoatlus. But we've actually seen the lily pads in action before in a video from weeks ago. There is a wetland foliage brush that places the lily pads in the water. In the background, we also see the same Japanese bridge we've seen before. Still no confirmation that the bridge is anything other than purely decorative. We've seen no evidence yet that guests will be able to use bridges, unfortunately. Hopefully that is something coming to the new game. Frontier allowed everyone who is subscribed to their newsletter to send in a question, and my question was whether we'd have functional bridges or not. While they won't be able to answer all questions, I'm curious which ones they will pick. I think there's a good chance they will get to answering some of those community questions in the livestream next week. As always, I will watch it, so you don't have to, and I will give you a summary. Also in the aviary, we see another example of how we can't just make waterfalls with a new water tool, but also flowing rivers. Finally, for the first segment at least, we have several more to go through, we see a baby Mosasaurus emerge from the lagoon nest. Although most of our marine species don't lay eggs, the breeding will work similarly to how it works on land, with the juveniles emerging from these placeable nests that are a breeding requirement. Of course, the previous feature focus was all about the breeding mechanic. If you missed that, I will link it at the end for you to check out. Consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the Jurassic World Evolution 3 news.
Dinosaur juveniles may sometimes have different needs to their parents, but as with any species, the child's needs are always the priority, and their welfare will impact on that of their parents. With both paleo and social needs to consider, you may have to alter your enclosures in order for the juveniles to settle in. Paleo needs cover environment and available food types, while social needs can be as specific as how many male dinosaurs are inside the territory.
The addition of breeding to the new game really goes beyond just the cuteness of the babies. It's clear Frontier is using it as an extra challenge for us park managers, as they should, giving us more factors to balance when setting up an enclosure. Juvenile dinosaurs can have different needs to the adult when it comes to their socials and the habitat itself. For the habitat, you need to be mindful that juveniles will sometimes need a different food source than the adults. For example, we've been told previously that baby sauropods are too short to feed from the same trees their parents eat, so they need low foliage to meet their food requirements. For the social need of juveniles, different cohabitation issues can arise. For example, as said in the clip, if there's too many males in the habitat. We also see that dinosaurs in general have more enclosure needs this time around, requiring not just a certain amount of space and volume of water, but also different environment types. As we can see, this Quetzalcoatlus requires arid, barren, and wetland environments within its habitat. When the gameplay shows them moving over the unhappy kits, we can see that the option Release to the Wild has replaced the Sell Dinosaur option, even though the icon indicates releasing a dinosaur to the wild will still make us money, probably in the form of a conservation bonus. As we know, conservation is one of the 3 branches we need to balance. What I absolutely adore is the little detail that the well-being of the juveniles affects the well-being of the parents. If the baby is unhappy, the parent's comfort will also be affected. A pretty simple but genius way to make the adults feel like caring parents. I am pleasantly surprised at how in-depth and well thought out the family units and social structures of a habitat overall seem to be. And there's even more on that later in this video. Of course, we need to see it in action in-game, but it's really promising and gives a new layer for us park managers to dig into. And that comes with a reward.
Paying attention to these needs will pay off, as a happy dinosaur means happy guests and increased park appeal. Plus, it will also benefit you later down the line when your thriving juveniles mature. So it's crucial to monitor your juveniles early on.
We already know from previous videos that baby dinosaurs have a very high appeal rating and thus will be the star attractions in your park, just like how it goes in zoos in real life. But if the baby is unhappy, that appeal rating tanks. We also know that if you neglect to properly care for the juveniles, that's going to cost you in the long run. Because a juvenile that grows up with 100% comfort, having all its needs met, will have a boosted rating as an adult, higher than regular adults that you've made in a hatchery. And if you breed 2 adults with a higher appeal because you've raised them from an infant in a happy environment, their offspring will also have an extra high appeal. This way, through generations, you can breed dinosaurs with an immensely high rating. This really makes it worth the effort to ensure the babies are happy, beyond just saving yourself the nuisance of them trying to break out. The next segment is probably my favorite.
You'll find that some dinosaurs like to stay close to their immediate family, whilst others follow more of a herd mentality, or even bold enough to follow any adult, no matter the species.
I absolutely adore the idea of some baby dinosaurs just walking after whatever adult it sees, no matter the species. It's just like, hey, I'm your baby now. The baby Ankies walking alongside the Brachiosaurus adults is like ducklings imprinting on a human and following them around. It is so cute. But also, let's take a moment to appreciate the beautiful water interaction that we see as the Quetzes are walking through the water. Of course, it makes my heart sing anyway to see this Asdarkid walk instead of constantly flying, but adding some splashies makes me even happier. By the way, I love this Quetz hiding behind the rock. I see you back there, buddy. One more segment, and then I also have just one negative.
I'm sure it won't be long before your enclosures are lively with dinosaurs and your parks are busy with guests. In the meantime, be sure to watch the rest of our modules for further training on managing your parks.
This animation of the baby Brachiosaurus interacting with its parent is so cute. I really can't wait to just do a full video showing all the babies and their animations, because it's clear the animators had a lot of fun and creativity coming up with these interactions. But again, I think this feature focus and the previous one about the breeding specifically shows that adding babies is about more than just superficial cuteness. It's really going to add a lot to our parks. That being said, I do have one tiny bit of negative feedback, and that is, in my opinion, it's time for the marketing to move away from the baby focus and focus on other aspects of the new game. I understand that babies are the new shiny thing and they are easy to market, but we really need to see new attraction types and other management mechanics. Maybe a showcase of the different maps and biomes and a quick glance at all the different decorative pieces just to give us a taste. I do think that now that they've covered the breeding and family units in separate feature focuses, they are ready to move on to the next topic. Frontier did say they are not sticking to a schedule with these, but we are seeing a pattern of them alternating between dinosaur showcases and feature focuses. And next Wednesday is their monthly livestream with hopefully more news as well. To stay up to date on everything, subscribe to the channel, and just in case you missed some of the past news, check out the videos linked here at the end. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, I will remain in my corner of shame.